We need to go deeper underwater, but I don't want to end up like the next ocean gate. So in order to not implode, we have a lot of progress to make. We need to kill the Wither a bunch, set up and actually add-ons and power, create shadow pulse goo and a bunch of Oritech machines. And finally, we automate an Enderic Laser. All of these things will allow us to create the Depth Upgrade Mark II. Yo, and welcome back to episode 7 of our OceanBlock2 playthrough. Today we are starting out by creating some gateways of the Hellish Fortress. These gateways spawn a bunch of mobs, and with the help of some beheading upgrades in the mob masher, we got ourselves over a stack of wither skeleton skulls. Simply creating a box out of wither-proof glass, we were very easily able to kill 8 withers. Now I chose 8 withers so that we can make nether star seeds and automate this. Next up, we need to craft and actually add-ons and power. Now this seems like a simple task, and the 5 display stands needed were super easy to craft, but lo and behold, there is no recipe for the batteries. This baffled me, as I could find no way to advance further without these batteries. So after spending hours of searching from many of the OceanBlock2 creators, I finally came up to a solution to our problem. And well, it's a simple solution. Simply, there is no JEI recipe for the batteries. If we manually put everything in the crafting table, you can craft them just fine. So we set the Empower down and put 4 display stands 2 blocks away from the Empower. Give the stand some power, and with 4 Ender Stars and a charged Void Seed, we have finally created 1 Empowered Rift Seed. We then infusion craft this with 4 Nether Stars, 4 Insanium Essence, and just like this, Nether Stars are automated. I also went ahead during this time to craft up Enderman Seeds, as we're going to need a bunch of Eye of Enders later. Let's get into the Shadow Pulse goo. The best part is, we actually already have everything necessary to craft this goo. This goo requires Skulk to power, so that's something that's going to be a pain in the butt for now, but we have some, so we'll deal with that later. So we throw down some netherite blocks to create some Eclipse ore. Eclipse is some of the best ore we can get in this pack, so I went ahead and made up an Eclipse Paxel, as well as a hoe. Again, the hoe allows us to create Shadow Pulse soil, which creates a crop every 2 seconds now, twice as fast as Void Shimmer. Next up, after a bit of mechanism, we created a centrifuge from Oritech. I also now realize that there are recipes for motors and coils inside the assembler, so we went ahead and crafted up a bunch of those to try and avoid needing more later down the line. We then needed some crushed coal, and I guess the only way to do that in this pack is through the Oritech crusher. We throw some crushed coal into the centrifuge, and ooh, that's a smooth animation. After doing this a couple of times, we are finally able to craft a machine fluid upgrade. We simply pipe in some water and throw some packed wheat inside to create some raw biopolymer. We then again throw that back into the centrifuge to create plastic. Using this plastic, we can finally create an Enderic Laser. I don't like doing things, as they say, by the books, so let's do what we do and automate. Thankfully, we found quartz, fluix, and silicone seeds, and I have been AFKing for a while, so let's use that and create 4 crystal growth accelerators and 4 crystal resonance generators. We'll put down the cardboard box, which contains a flawless budding amethyst inside. Then put 4 crystal growth accelerators and the crystal resonance generators on top of them. These passively produce enough energy to provide the growth accelerators with power. Next in the corner, we'll place down the Enderic Laser, and man, these animations are just so majestic. Using the target designator, we save the position we want to target, which will be the crystal that grows on top. Now, the quest book does warn us that this will mine until a redstone signal is provided, and that does worry me as it's not too descriptive, so let's try and prevent any random destruction. So using a block reader, we can detect the difference in the growth stages of amethysts. We want to provide a redstone signal until an amethyst cluster is detected. Then, once it's mined, we want to instantly provide redstone again. Hopefully, this should prevent us from breaking everything on the island. And upon providing power, our contraption works flawlessly. But there is one issue. And, well, it breaks a lot of things. And I mean a lot. Crystal resonance generators? Consider them as good as gone. Obsidian, just that goodbye too. What about these drawers that, they're quite a ways away? Consider them in danger. I'm guessing we probably want to move this setup. So let's do that. Well, to the forsaken corner of the flat abyss, we exiled this machine. We just need to condense this down a bit so the parts don't stick above the crystals, encroaching on the danger zone. Sticking the resonance generators underneath should remove most of the tragedy, and putting the Enderic Laser pointing away from everything hopefully removes future broken blocks. Now in the comments, if we need a more in-depth tutorial on this, let me know and I will definitely throw one together. So upon applying power, we can see that, well, we appear to yet again be in danger. This thing still ends up pointing straight at our lava production. So to say I'm scared shitless, that's quite an understatement. So I broke it in the hopes that replacing it would stop it from occurring, and, well, it doesn't. Let's just pray that in time, nothing that important breaks. So let's get back on to getting the Mk2 depth upgrade. Using a processor chip, 2 of these brand new flux crystals, and a platinum, we can create our first of many flux gates. I feel like everyone has seen the creation of mechanism refined obsidian and atomic alloy, so I'll skip over that pretty annoying task. And thankfully, with a few items, we can finally create the Mk2 depth upgrade, allowing us to go infinite depths within the ocean. So let's quickly complete this whole quest line by grabbing a compass, and we throw that under that big crystal we found, and after 5 seconds, we have completed that whole quest line. With the completion of getting the Mk2 depth upgrade, that is going to round out today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this, and remember, keep automating.